back to my channel. My name is Emma, and today we have another podcast episode. Don't ask me what number. I don't know. Let's be real here. I don't know what number we're on. But I will say, I think this is a new location for the podcast, and honestly, it's just been one of those weeks. I'm so tired, and I actually could not fathom the thought of moving all of my stuff for the podcast from my bedroom to the living room where I filmed the last couple ones, I think. So I'm sitting in bed. I'm in comfy clothes. I still have a lot to do today, but I wanted to get this out in relative daylight. I have my lamp on because with the blinds closed and stuff, it's actually kind of like weird lighting in here. So we're working with a few things, but truly it's because I just wanted to get this out while not overexerting myself, quite literally. So I'm kind of going for the comfy vibe this month. That all being said, March, actually, I do kind of have a lot to share. I'll get into this later, but I did have spring break this week, so I did have a little bit more time than like a usual month, I guess. So I just have a lot to show. So I'll start with my acquisitions and kind of de-stash roundup. I did acquire things this month, and I will say part of it was because it was my birthday month, kind of treating myself, and part of it was I did visit a Joann's. As we know, Joann's is all closing, so I got myself to the closest Joann's to me and picked up some things that I just won't be able to get after they close. If you watched I actually don't remember what video. One of my recent videos, I also included this Joann's haul. So if you saw that one, this might be a bit repetitive, so I'll try not to take too long on it. But I got some stuff from Joann's, and then I also made a hobby order for the first time. Very excited. That has not come in yet though, but it was kind of part of I included it in the numbers, so that's why. But yeah, so I de-stashed 12 balls of yarn, and I will say I actually only went through 9 this month, but 3 of them I forgot to count last month. I don't know, I just got a little mixed up. So I'm taking the number down by 12, but really I only went through 9 this month. And then I acquired 28 balls of yarn. Now I will say 19 of the 28 are small 50-gram balls from Hobby, and I'll get into this later, but I think I only needed like 16, but I wanted free shipping, so I got 19. We'll see. But that's what that was. So that puts me for the end of March, and I'm actually filming this on the 27th, but I don't think I'm going to go through any more yarn or get any more. So for the end of March, our total is 146. So I'm going to have to go review kind of what my goals were numbers-wise, because I want to say one of my goals was to get under 150. I don't really remember, so I'll have to look at that again. But that's what we're at right now for yarn, is 146 balls of yarn. Crazy. That, Joann's. I got some K&C cotton because I really do like this cotton, and I was sad that there wasn't a lot left. There was almost nothing left. But of the essential cotton, I got 3 balls in the color White Sands. It's like this different tones of like beige-ish cream colors. And then I got 3 balls in the color Canyon, which is this very like, these look the same, but this one's a bit darker. Just know this is like a really nice, like almost pumpkin fall color, like not super neon orange. And these I want to make like a summer kind of cotton long sleeve top situation. And then I got some sock yarn, and this Patents Croy socks is available in other places, but it's the easiest available for me, I've seen, at least in Joann's. And also it had always the best color. So I got 3 of the Patents Croy sock in the color Plum. So lastly from Joann's, I actually got a ton of buttons because I just got really paranoid because I've looked for buttons in other places, and Joann's was always the place that had the best options. And so I don't have plans for literally any of these, but I just thought I'd like to have them in my stash. So I got 6 total of these really cool thin metal, like brassy star ones. Not star, sun ones. I'm obsessed with these. And then I got 6 of these metal flowers. And I do have maybe an idea, maybe a green cardigan. I'm not sure if I want to use these for that. But yeah, they're pretty, they're brassy as well. I just think they were really pretty. I got these 6 star buttons. And they only had, I think they had a couple of the gold, but only 1 silver. So I got this because, I don't know if y'all can tell, I don't care about mixed metals at all. So I think this would be a really cool thing to add to something. And then these are actually for my sister. Also don't have a project in mind, but I figured if I was going to make her something in the future, that style would probably go with it if I did need buttons. So kind of just trying to think ahead, which is really sad, but true. This month did also feel extremely long, so I'm not sure if I ordered this yarn in February or March, but I did have to get another color for my temperature blanket, which I'll talk about in a bit. But I think it was this month that I got it. I got another Heartland. This was for some really low temperatures that I didn't account for. We'll get onto that later. Next order of business is my finished objects, and I'm actually super happy. Oh, let me just... Actually super happy. I didn't realize how much I'd made until I like looked at this pile, and I was like, oh, that's kind of a lot. But again, spring break happened. I got some crazy motivation around spring break and my birthday. And then also a bunch of these I do crochet tiny sometimes depending on the day at work, and I just kind of whenever I can. So that was really fun. But I made 5 new hexagons, and there'll be a video about this eventually, but I'm planning, I had a bunch of like weight 6 chunky yarn that was given to me. I mean, some that I bought, but I had a lot given to me, and I thought a good way to go through it all would be to make a blanket. So I'm making them out of hexagons. So this month I finished a bunch of them. I finished this dark green one, finished this like very burnt orange one, this purple one, this orange one, and this like lime green one. So I really like these. They're gonna need a huge aggressive steam before they become a blanket, but that's not for a while. I am just kind of doing these whenever, and we'll worry about putting it all together in a blanket later. But more blanket stuff actually. Because I finally had all my yarn and I had time over spring break, I was finally able to finish my January and February temperature blanket squares, and I'm in love with them. I love a granny square, especially for a blanket, and so I did temperature blanket. This is my 4th year doing one, and this is gonna be my 2nd granny square blanket. Temperature blanket. This will be my 3rd granny square blanket, so I just really like them. But this is January. So if you see right here, this brown is what I was waiting on. So I got the first 3 weeks out of the way, and then I realized I didn't have a color for lows in between 0 and 9 degrees. Thank you, Syracuse. So then I had to buy it, and then I bought it, shipped from Joann's when they were still taking online orders, accidentally shipped it to Texas. Then my mom had to send it to me. So it was a whole thing, but I finally got the yarn and I had the time. So yeah, so for this year, I'm doing highs and lows, which I've never done before. I've only ever done high temperatures, and I'm doing it by week instead of daily. So 2 rows per week, high and low temperatures. And I split all the months into 5 weeks, because they either had 5 weeks or they had 6 weeks where like the 6th or the 1st week was only like 1 day. And so I kind of split it up where I was able to make 12 months, 5 weeks each month kind of thing. And then I just had a neutral border around the end. And then same idea for February. It was a very, very cold February. I can't actually say much positive things about it. I don't like the cold. So, it was very cold. It was very snowy. I think my friend said it snowed for like 40 days straight or something. Like maybe higher than that. So much snow. And it is reflected, I think, in this. So, yeah, February. Yay, it's over. We're at the end of March. Yes, it did snow a tiny bit yesterday, but overall, it's been getting better. I also realized I'm like going out of order, so I'm sorry about that. But another thing I finished that I didn't realize I finished in March, I had to check my notes from last month. And the only reason I realized I didn't finish this in February was because it was in my future plans to finish for March. Anyways, it's this hood, which I love. Again, it hasn't been that cold, so I actually haven't had time to wear it that much. But these granny squares are made with Patton's classic wool worsted, and I just made 4 and put them together. And then I ran out of Patton's wool worsted, and I switched to an acrylic from Hobby Lobby, also just in a cream color, to finish up the front and bottom like ribbing vibe. And then the thing, what is this called? This little tie I also actually made in Patton's. So I just love this. I have a hood like this in orange, but I wanted one in a neutral. So that's what I did. Oh my gosh. Ah! Whoa, sorry. But yeah, obviously I look crazy, but it's literally just to keep me warm. And when it's that cold that I need to cover this much, I kind of care less about how I look. Not that much. That's why I make cute accessories, but it's not my biggest concern. And I also just think it's kind of like, I like it. And then when I have a bow, oh, let me do it better. Hold on. Like, are you joking me? A little bow? Yeah. So oh god, it's getting warm. I have the heater on in here again, so I'm getting warm. But yeah, finish this in March too. Okay, the last 2 are definitely my favorite. I don't even know. I guess the last thing I show is my favorite, just because I think I can wear it more. But my second favorite, and I'm very proud, and these will have their own video soon, socks. I made a wearable, like 2 or the same sized, almost perfect pair of socks. I used the ribbon sock pattern by Svetlana something. It'll be linked below. Ribbon sock pattern in the second to largest size, with a 100% wool. I got from Cece's Wool is the brand, but I got it from actually the state fair last year. It's March. So like this most recent August, I went to the state fair, got this wool, and I'm obsessed with it. It does not have any nylon on it. Whoa, nylon in it. I'm okay with that. Yeah, you can see I had to, it's like not straight because I stretched it a lot in blocking, and it did block out, but now it's kind of like that. You can't see when it's on because, I put it on like that and you just can't see. I like this product. My only concern is that I used a sport weight instead of a fingering weight yarn, and I did the length measure, like I followed the pattern for the length according to my shoe size, and I added the width for the largest shoe size instead of mine. So it was only like a couple more rows wider. And these still are a bit small. Now, thankfully, they fit width-wise, but where these increases for the heel are, they're much lower on my actual heel. So, like, the length is not long enough. And so, it's a good pattern, but I don't know, because I tried to gauge swatch, and so I was like, following, like the gauge swatch was fine, and then when I started, it was like way too small, and so then I went back up a hook size, and then it like was working out again like it was supposed to once I was working up some more rows, but then it's still too small, so I'm wondering what size, like I followed my size, and there's some questions I have. So I don't know quite. I know I crochet tightly, I think, which is why I thought that using the right hook and a thick, like I think it's the right hook. It also be noted that she said to use a 3mm hook in a fingering weight yarn. I used a sport weight yarn and I think a 3mm hook. It's not labeled, but it looks like a 3mm compared to the other ones I have. So we're assuming I used the right hook size and a thicker yarn. I was like, well, maybe it'll like fit me. It'll be a little big. It was still too small. So I don't know. I don't know if it's me. I don't know if it's the pattern. I don't know if it's my tension, whatever. So I can wear them. I wore them for like a while around the house just because these are 100% wool and it's getting warmer. So I don't actually need to wear them out that much, but I wore them around the house the other day and it was really nice. The wool was not scratchy. It definitely felt like wool at first, but the more I wore it, my foot kind of got used to it. So that was great because I was kind of worried about that. The pattern, I think, was translated from Russian, and I'm trying not to get too much into detail about this because I did film a whole video about these socks, but I'll wrap it up. If you're an experienced enough crocheter where you feel like you don't need your hand held with patterns, this pattern will be fine for you. If you feel like you need detailed and well-written steps for like every step of a process, it might not be the right one just because I think in translation, either her writing style or just the language itself kind of cut off, or like it made it less direct. I don't know how to explain it, where I had to like kind of trust my skills a little bit and I was able to do it and I could tell I was doing it right, but it wasn't super clear in the process of doing that. So yeah, there's that. I will be making this pattern again. I think I'm going to try out a new yarn because I can. Yeah, that's it. We'll see, but I am still really happy with this finished product. And last but definitely not least, I finally made a hexagon pullover sweater. I could not be more happy with this sweater. I used the Karen macchiato cakes that I bought and were shown in my last podcast episode. Go watch that if you haven't. But look at her. Look at this sweater. And granted, the lighting in my room is not amazing, but you get how beautiful these colors are, right? Like, I know you're seeing this, and it's kind of, this is the back. So, I made 2 hexagons, just like everyone makes for cardigans or whatever. I made 2 hexagons. I found a free like blog post for this flower, and then I sewed it all together. Added some of my favorite front and back post ribbing, as I do. Oh, for the sleeves also, the hexagon finished here. I did a couple rows and then some decrease rows. I also had to follow a tutorial for decreasing with granny stitch, which I am obsessed with. I will say, like with almost every sweater I've ever made, the sleeves could have been shorter, but I do like them nonetheless. It's kind of always this problem of I want my sleeves when my hands are down to be able to like go like this, like all of my sleeves. Even when I buy my store-bought clothes are like this. But then, like, well, I should say, like, when my hands are bent or whatever, I want to be able to do this. But if they're, like, just down, of course you can't see it now, they, like, hang over my hand. And these do that, too. Now, the problem I've found with my crochet pieces is they hang over my hand, but I decrease so much for the wrist that they kind of do this situation. This is so hard to show. Wow, hold on. They kind of do like this, which I don't love, but I also want them to be long enough. So I'm going to have to sacrifice either width of sleeve at some point or length of sleeve at some point, and I haven't decided on either. For my next sweater, I'm going to do this again with that yarn from Hobby. Spoiler alert for my future plans. That's what I'm doing. But there'll be some changes. But yeah, I'm super happy to have this in my wardrobe. It is a acrylic and wool blend, so definitely for the warmer like months, but I did wear this with jeans and a short sleeve crop top under on like one of the more spring days we've had. And I will say that like with the sun shining and a breeze, it was kind of like the perfect layer situation. So I do think I'll be able to wear this at least through April. I don't think it's going to get that warm based off the winter we've been having. So I am excited to get some more use out of this. And then of course, when it gets cold again, long sleeves under the whole thing. But yeah, that is my Hexie sweater. Okay, I feel like those were my two like big sections of podcast topics. So the next one we have is works in progress. And I only have two going right now. I know I said I wanted to do another sock, but I haven't started yet. First thing, really simple. I actually literally started today at work, funnily enough, before I got really busy, was another hexagon. So she's quite small. This is what she looks like, but I used a Clover 8mm for all my hexagons, and this yarn is the Lion brand Hometown USA in Madison Mustard. So yeah, another weight 6. Like I said, I'm kind of just going through all the yarn that I have, and we'll get to making a blanket at some point. The next one is a bit more exciting, and that is my Shelly cardigan. I started this last week, spring break. I don't remember, honestly. I'm struggling to remember, but we have got the top of the back panel and the top of one of the front side panels. Okay. It's kind of really hard. You're not going to see it very well with this hoodie, but basically looks like that. And then this part will go like that. And it's, yeah. So slay. So this pattern, it's called the Shelly cardigan. I don't remember who it's by. It's worked up differently than I thought it would be. I can't say that I love it. I understand kind of the point, but I can't say that I love it purely because I've broken my yarn twice now, and I just don't like that. It's also a made-to-measure pattern, which is like, I understand their reason and the value they have, but I don't like paying money to have to do like, and I realized this about myself recently, is I don't like paying for a pattern and then kind of having to like do all the measures and measuring and numbers and math and figuring things out on my own. But I already paid for the pattern. You know, it's kind of like whatever. Obviously, they still did a lot of work figuring it all out and like making the product and directions and stuff. But I do think part of a pattern should be, hey, how much do you chain to start? You know? But that's just me. Also, yarn amounts get pulled into this. Like, you can use any yarn and any hook in any amount. Okay, so then how do I plan for a pattern if I can use any yarn and any hook? But there's no size chart because it's made to measure. You know what I mean? Okay, anyways, I'm not going to rant about this. This is like the second video that's going to have a made to measure rant in it, and I need to chill out. But yarn I'm using is Lion brand. I am using the Lion brand 100% superwash merino yarn. It's a weight 3, comes in 100-gram balls, and I am using the color Midnight Blue. So this is the yarn I'm using. And I will say this stitch is eating up my yarn. I only have 6 balls, and I've gone through about 1.5, I would say. And I only have this much. Whoa. So I need to do the other half of the front. I'm going to say that that's going to take the whole second ball. After you do the other half, I make the other front. That's when you connect, basically like here and here for an armhole. And then I build down. And then I have 2 arms and a button band and all the finishings. And I have 5.5 balls. No, 4.5 balls. So I don't know. I'm worried. It may work, but I'm worried. I am already planning what I can do, what Lion Brand yarns I can order. If I need to order more of this yarn to finish, it'll probably be this. It'll probably be some chunky, and it'll probably be some temperature blanket. But that's worst case scenario. I'm also using my Clover 4mm, no biggie. I think the pattern said 3 or 3.5. I'm using 4. I like DK with 4. I like the yarn, I like how it looks, whatever. But yeah, that's my Shelly cardigan so far. That was really all I had. My finished plans, not super interesting. You want to guess what they are? Finish this hexagon. Finish this cardigan. Then I actually want to finish this whole blanket. So that, plus the ones I showed earlier, plus the ones I have already, plus the ones I haven't made yet. That all needs to be a blanket. We're getting to the point where I have 2 heavy blankets on my bed. Excuse me. And I want to just have one because it's not that freezing cold. But I want to have a crocheted blanket. I want to have a crocheted blanket in my room. It's just been too long. At home, I have 4 to choose from at any given time to have on my bed. I think that's right. 4? I think I have 4 blankets. And I want one here. It didn't make sense for me to like bring a blanket here when I bring so much yarn here. But I now want a crocheted blanket. So this is going to be it. It's the yarn I have that can be made into a blanket. I mean, I guess any yarn, but this is what you get my drift. That I want a crocheted blanket, and this is going to be it, and I want it by the end of April. Yes, okay, that's what I'm getting the gist of. This is all for April. So April, I want to finish my Hexie blanket, finish my Shelly cardigan, and I want another pair of socks. Which socks, you might ask? I'm going to use this one, I think, because the only sock yarn I have here are singular skeins of fingering weight yarn, and I really like the ribbon sock pattern, but I used just over 100 grams of sport weight, which makes me think I won't be able to make a pair out of what I have of my fingering weight hand-dyed, but I have 150 grams of this. Yeah, these are 50-gram balls, and I have 3 of them. So I should have enough, even if going from sport to fingering and increasing the size, I think it'll still be fine. And that is kind of why sport weight yarn makes me laugh, because when I look at this, it does kind of look like the sport weight yarn I was using, or I should say the sport weight yarn I was using looks fingering weight. Who knows? But I think it'll be enough, again, because I want to say I used like 110 grams for the socks. So even if I increase, and I don't need to increase that much. I need to increase maybe like 4 stitches in the beginning. I think it'll still be enough. I'm almost positive it'll still be enough yarn. So will it be another pair of wool socks that I won't be able to wear till the fall comes back? Yeah. But I don't have socks. Oh my god. And they're purple. So, it's like kind of springy. Not even kind of. I think this is a very like nice spring color. But yeah. And then that'll actually get me almost on track back to my plan. Because I got kind of way off of my 2025 plans. For my original plan, I was going to have the blue cardigan completely done in February. And we're not at the end of March. And then in March, I was going to start another cardigan and another pair of socks. Now, I actually don't have the yarn here for that pair of socks. And I don't want to... I'm trying to avoid my mom sending me more yarn, because this yarn is at home. So I have this purple yarn that I can use instead of the Syracuse colored sock yarn that I wanted to make socks out of. Oh my. But yeah, and then my April plans was to finish said new cardigan and my blanket. So the blue cardigan is very behind schedule, and then that'll finish off February. This socks that I was going to crochet in March, I want to crochet this month. That'll get me those socks. And then the blanket will be in April. So we're really just behind on one cardigan. It's fine. It's fine. It's so fine because these are made up. This is a made up goal. No one's going to like come get me. But then also in May, if we're just future planning here, in May I had a vest, another pair of socks, and a granny square pillow. I think classes end like the first week of May, I think. And then I pretty much have like 2 weeks off. I'm going to still be working, but I am going home for a week. And I'm not going to do anything when I'm there. My plans for going home are not having to buy groceries, laying in my bed with my dog, crocheting. And that's about it. All in the comforts of my home. And again, not buying groceries for a week. So I assume I'm going to like catch up. And I can also bring yarn back. So that'll be really exciting at the end of May when I have more yarn. Because I'm not even getting bored of the yarn I have here, but I'm kind of like almost running out. I don't know why. The yarn that I have is kind of all allotted for later in the year. Mind you, it's coming up quick, but it's not what I'm working on now. So, yeah. And then I guess also this yarn from Hobby, which, oh my god, I wish I had it with me, but again, you'll see it soon enough. The yarn from Hobby, I'm very excited about. Sneak peek. It's the Hobby one. It's getting discontinued. I'll show a picture of what I ordered now, just in case. But it's a cotton and silk blend. Hello, summer. For whatever reason, they're discontinuing it. So I bought a bunch of it. That was another reason why I justified buying it. Because I want to make this sweater. And also, it was like 60% off. Instead of like, oh god, I think it's usually like $8. It was like $2 a ball. And so even at 50 gram balls, that's $4 for every 100 grams. I want to say this stuff regular price is like $7 or $8. So I'm taking it, and it has silk in it. So I think it'll just be a really, really pretty sweater. So I don't know when I'm going to start that. I really don't know when I'm going to start that because in May, it's like kind of chill. And then in June, maybe in May, honestly, because I have another cotton sweater in June. Is this too many cotton sweaters? Should I be making like shirts? I don't know if I would wear a shirt though. We'll see. We will see. Obviously, a lot to figure out, but I'm very excited. I do have my computer in front of me now. Sorry for the glare in my glasses. But I thought I would also get into what I'm reading and watching because I watched a lot over spring break. I watched Moana 2, Lilo and Stitch, and Anora, and those are like a crazy mix. But, wait, that wasn't even spring break. That was like last week. I had a day where like basically all of my responsibilities were canceled. So I crocheted all day and I watched those things. Moana 2, loved it. That new song is low-key like the highlight, but the story was cute and I liked the team aspect. Lilo and Stitch, I don't think I've ever watched in full, and I saw someone on a podcast talk about it because they made the live action one, so I figured I should watch the original. Adorable movie. Anora, it's a dramatic movie about a stripper. Like, it was a good movie, but it's very much giving, yes, this is a movie. You know, I don't know if that makes sense. Oh my god. Okay, I don't know if this is like way too niche. But during Don't Worry Darling press, which is a movie that came out like 2 years ago? 3 years ago? I don't remember. Harry Styles was in it. And during one of the press junkets, he said, someone asked him like, describe the movie, describe the experience. And he said something like, it feels like a movie. Which at the time sounded really stupid. And to me, yes, Don't Worry Darling does feel like a movie in a good way. Anora is very much giving, yes, it's a movie in like a bad way. And maybe that's the hairstyles like bias in me, but I don't know. It was fine. It was long also. It felt really long. It was kind of stressful. But maybe that's just, like, not my vibe. I did love Moana 2 and Lilo and Stitch, though, so there's that. What I want to watch. I've been watching a lot of YouTube, which I have loved, but I really want to get into a TV show again. I rewatched Bridgerton last month, and that was, fine. I don't know if I ever actually finished it. I might have gotten distracted. But I really want to watch a new show. People have told me Abbott Elementary is really good, and I do have it on Hulu, so I could watch that, but I don't know if there's anything else that I, need to be watching. I know a lot of people have been talking about Severance and White Lotus. I don't think I want to watch those. Those seem stressful to me, so I don't recommend me those. But if anyone's watched Abbott Elementary, should I watch it, and how urgently, is my questions. I haven't mentioned for months what I've been reading because I haven't been reading much, but I've been trying to get through this book since, maybe December. It's called Looking for a Sign. It's like a Zodiac rom-com-y YA fiction book. It's cute. It's taking me forever to get through. Just because I think this is, not my vibe. I'm also a huge, I'm so judgmental where if I see this kind of, illustration on a cover, I immediately, don't think I'm gonna like the book. But it is cute when I want to, decompress at night. It's just, I have a horrible night routine where I would like to decompress at night and, read a little bit, no more phone for, half an hour. And most of the time, that just does not happen. But I'm almost done with it. I'm on page 195 out of 300. But I want to finish it. Oh, I've lost an earring. Sorry, guys. I want to finish it soon because I want to read Sunrise on the Reaping, which is the newest Hunger Games book for anyone who doesn't know. If you don't know what Hunger Games is, I can't be the person to tell you. You gotta just Google that. But newest Hunger Games book. There's the original trilogy. Last year, or maybe 2 years ago, the book prequel came out, which was Snow, the evil guy's backstory, first games, which was crazy. And so this one is also, I guess, technically a prequel, but now it kind of sits in the middle. This is the 50th games, which is crazy. And I've been seeing a lot on the internet about it, and I'm scared of getting too much spoiled. So I need to finish this so that I can, first of all, get my hands on and then read Sunrise on the Reaping. So, very looking forward to that. Hopefully, in the next calendar month. I don't know if I can make it until May without reading this book. I need it. I need it so bad. Okay, last section of the podcast. I don't know if I've done this section before, if I'm just making stuff up now, but we're kind of getting into my monthly wrap up and life and also closing notes, guys. We're getting there. So my monthly wrap up, yes, it was my birthday. You're looking at a now very, very legal adult, not 18, 21. Yeah, guys, crazy. It was crazy. I didn't do anything for my birthday. My birthday was at this beginning of spring break, and the campus was basically empty. I went and got a really cute coffee, though. Spent some time at a little cafe, did some crocheting, got some fresh air. That was great. Fun. Again, spring break. I worked every single day of spring break, so that wasn't fun. But I had evenings off, and I kind of decompressed, and obviously did some crocheting, so that was great. So yeah. But life is getting busy. Luckily, I have 2 videos. One filmed, my sock video, and one almost filmed. I've been vlogging all of March. So those are going to be the next 2 videos coming up. Y'all need to tell me which one you want to see first. And honestly, I'm hoping that with those 2 videos kind of being filmed now, my next 2 weeks, I think, are going to be super busy. But I won't have to worry about a video, just editing them. So I'm hoping by the time that I'm less busy, I'll be able to film something and we don't miss any kind of I took a week off for spring break, and I'm kind of hoping to stay consistent with my Saturday videos. So tell me what you want, which one you want first. Sorry. How much a very long, month-long crochet vlog or my sock making vlog. Those are the two in the works right now, so just let me know. But yeah, my yarn ban has not been yarn banning. I'm sorry. Again, made up standards that rules I made for myself. But I do think that if I say something on the internet, I should stick to it. So I'm going to try. Obviously, it was my birthday month. I've already said kind of why I've bought yarn. I think this weekend I will be back in the same shopping center where the Joann's is from the beginning of the month. I don't know if there's going to be anything left in the Joann's. I'm going to go in, but I'm actually not expecting there to be anything. Or if they're even open. I don't know. So there may or may not be more, but I'm going to try to cap it at March 31st. Luckily, it's only the 27th and Monday's the 31st. So for the rest of the year, I can't really say when. Obviously, I don't want to buy yarn and I want to keep destashing. And I like what I've been making, which is really great. But obviously, the Hexie sweater, that was yarn that I bought last month on a whim and then made the sweater. And I love the sweater, but also I could have just not. It's whatever. We'll see what happens. I'm really hoping to not go overboard. I also don't have the funds to go overboard. So there's always that. And yeah. Oh, just kidding. There is one other exception, a newer exception. Someone so very kindly bought me a pattern on Ravelry. I don't have yarn for said pattern. It's a really, really pretty sweater pattern, and you need to wait for yarn. And I literally don't have a sweater's quantity of, that's a lie. I have a sweater's quantity of worsted weight yarn. That one I'm making, I have plans for something else and I don't want to change those plans. So I really want to get another, look, I feel like I'm saying cotton sweater a lot, but I really do love a cotton sweater. It's my favorite kind of sweater. So I really want to buy enough yarn to make this sweater in a cotton weight for yarn. I'm probably gonna get that Hobby Lobby. I think it's I Love This Cotton, because I looked it up and I've heard good things about it as a cotton, because obviously 100% cotton yarn, unless it's very, very nice, can be very, very not nice. I'm looking at you, Lily Sugar and Cream. So I've heard good reviews about the Hobby Lobby one, and I don't love Hobby Lobby, but I'm kind of short on options. It's priced pretty well. It does go on sale. I've looked online. They have it in the color I would love to make the sweater in. And also, it's a weight for. So, I will maybe get that, not this month, but in the future, so I can make the pattern that someone gifted me. And I think it's beautiful. And I'm very thankful. And I want the sweater. So that's the other thing that you will probably see, I'm guessing, knowing me, in the next few months. But yeah. That felt like a lot. If it was a lot, thank you for sticking with me till the end. I do think I need a glass of water. I feel like I've been talking for a while, but we had a lot to go over this month. There's a lot going on. There's a lot to be excited about. I keep telling myself there's a lot going on. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed watching, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps me to see that people are enjoying what I'm putting out. If you want any of the patterns or yarns, I'm going to try to link as many of the patterns and yarns that I mentioned below. If I didn't link it, go ahead and comment and tell me. I will get that to you. If you want to support me in any way, like I said, someone has bought me a pattern and I'm very, very thankful. You can do that, or check out any of the other links I have in my description. Those are easy ways to support me. If you want to do more than just watch, obviously just watching is perfectly fine and very appreciated. My other socials are also down there, my Instagram and my Pinterest. Instagram is definitely where I'm 1,000% the most active outside of YouTube. Pinterest, I go on that. I post on that app every 4 months. It's just for vibes, honestly. But if you want to see stuff that I have pinned, because I have a lot of inspo pinned, you can check my Pinterest. My TikTok, I've posted once this year. So yeah, I just want to say I really am, especially kind of like, I don't know, just having this, like, it being my birthday month always kind of makes me like think about things in life and what's around me and what I'm doing. And I am just really, really thankful that one of my hobbies has made it so that even if it's through a screen, I am connecting with like a lot of people. And I just like to yap, honestly. I love to yap and I love sharing what I'm talking about and listening to what you guys are doing in the comments and all those kinds of things. So again, thank you. I will leave it at that. And yeah, I will see you guys next time. Bye!